Alright, so after my last video saying it's a generational thing, I wanted to come on here and say thank you so much for those of you that pointed out that that is also brainwashing. So thank you. Because it's true, right? That is brainwashing, that is programming, that is, we'll say, kind of excusing something that might not resonate with you. For me, it was more about having compassion for those people during that journey. And it was fascinating because some of you guys also pointed out that correlation of hate. I don't know, hate, anger. It's gonna label, like, no matter how this comes out. But pointing out the correlation between why is it okay or was okay. You know, some states still corporal punishment is totally legal. Why was it okay for people to hit their kids but not other people? So I thought that one was fascinating as well. And a lot of you pointed out that you guys, your family's generation, there was no such thing as spanking. So that whole it's a generational thing is as you guys kindly pointed out, just another form of brainwashing. Yeah, because that was my family's history's reality. So again, it's just one of the programs that some of us received, the programming. So thank you so much for pointing that out. And then I was thinking about it and how even during that conversation with that client, I found myself not speaking my truth. We are taking this. Whew, sorry. He was still and then he pulled. We're taking this handsome woofadoodle for a walk. The little bow tie is his bag. There's my little prancy woofadoodle. He's just so excited. Going for walks is literally his favorite thing. Runs. He loves to run alongside me on his bike. We'll get there in a second. Look at how cute. He did not used to sniff and mark. That began about the time that close to the end of my other dog, Snickers, my first adult dog. Definitely a love of my life. That dog was my meant to be. He used to sniff and mark everything, and it was when he got way older, maybe when his sniffer was given out, who knows. His eyesight did give out, his hearing did, and he was still such a happy pup. Maybe it was when his sniffer gave out and I just didn't know it, that this pup started sniffing and marking. Before that, he never did. It was so funny. It was like Snicks was passing on the torch to piss off. They're like, okay, now it's your turn. And he still does it. And the last few months, he's also been digging holes in the backyard to lay in, which Snickers used to do, which is fascinating. Because Posato never did that until a few months ago, and it definitely reminds me of Snickers. Maybe it's Snickers' way of saying hello. Because again, I'm a very visual person, and I am still a human being, very physical being, despite I know I have other senses, abilities. And that's cool, because the universe and I have found a way to communicate. So, during that, your puppy, during that, during the session with my client, I don't know. Okay, note to self, gotta look up the spiritual meaning of gnats. I just walked through a whole bunch of them, and they traveled with me for a while. Oh, they're still traveling with me. Oh, hi. Okay, I will definitely be looking that up. There's so many of them. Alright, I'm gonna go look it up. Okay, so literally as soon as I stopped the video, because I was not looking it up in the moment, I was gonna wait till later. No. As soon as I stopped the video to look it up to see what it meant, they stopped following me. I tell you, it's fascinating. Symbolic of a spiritual cleansing and renewal, can indicate that a shift is needed. Fascinating. And then I just found it interesting because for everything that we find on the internet in research, maybe this is my cue to make this video finally about truth being subjective. For everything that we find online in a research article, you can find online or in a research article saying the exact opposite. And here's where I thought it was funny. So yes, in general, gnats are a sign of good luck. And then if you're seeing them, your life is going to improve in the near future. I love that. That is so great. And so, cleansing, renewal, and a shift. I'm curious what the shift is. And I'm walking by homes that are for sale. So, and as I asked that question, I walked by a home for sale. So I said, I'm curious what that shift means. And I look up, and what do I see? A home for sale. So to me, that means that I likely have a move in the near future, and it's a good thing. But as I was saying, so found that saying gnats are good luck. But of course, you can also go and find something saying that gnats are bad luck, a bad omen. So really, what do you choose to believe? Do you choose to believe that old programming, that they're bad and now you gotta live in fear? Or do you choose to believe what you just read, that they're good luck and cleansing and renewal and a positive shift is coming? So, as I was saying, now that the gnats are not following me, now that I looked up what it meant, I'm telling you, this is how the universe communicates with me, with signs in real life. And Lily is giving me the biggest smiles right now. She loves this. She loves being held, being worn. This is just her jam. She is just a little snuggle bug. Not all babies are. Not all babies like to be held like this, but she absolutely does. And I'm grateful that I get to support it as much as possible, including wearing her for a large part of the session today, working with the other client, and it's great. And you know, she's probably calling in a new line of work, where things like this with these YouTube videos, I can do them and hold her and connect to nature. Her favorite place is to be outside. My favorite place is to be outside. Posada's favorite place to be is outside. You know, maybe I should do more videos like this, walking, meditation, like Joe Dispenza, outside. Like Anita Moorjani talks about getting outside and connecting to nature. Yes, I also 100% believe that, and it is very true for me. So during this session, I know I love you guys. Thank you so much for always just following along, and you know I'll get there. So it's part of the beauty of what makes me me. I found myself holding back my truth during the session. My client is, although they are Indian, they are more traditional they follow more traditional Western medicine. So, they take their child to a pediatrician, they follow the vaccine recommendation, they freak out if their child's not meeting the weight, the height, the growth curve, all the things, right? So, one of the things that we had talked about was he had asked if Lily likes tummy time, and I said no, she absolutely hates it, and therefore I don't really force her to do it. I don't force her to do it at all. And he was like, well, but she's supposed to be getting tummy time, and you know, she's supposed to be getting 40 minutes of it a day. And I was like, she'll maybe sometimes spend like 5-10 minutes there, like with the kids. Sometimes she does enjoy it. So meaning when I say I don't force it, there have been a few times that I have put her on her tummy, and then that's how excited he gets when he sees a cat. It's so cute. I mean, listen to those squeals of excitement. And that's what he sounds like when he sees another dog too. So cute. Such a young pup. At 11 years young. Almost 12 years young. 12 years young next month. So he was saying, oh, but that's so important for their growth, and that's so important for their, you know, their development, and you have to do it. And, you know, our kid didn't like it in the beginning either. I gave him a second to wait for his excitement for the kitty cat to calm down. So, oh, hey, look at that. Gotta love mom life too. She spit up some and I didn't even notice. And yes, and see, that's the thing. They don't care. They don't mind at all. Gotta love it. Gotta love mom life. Hi, beautiful girl. Hi. Hello. So, they were saying that, you know, their child didn't like it in the beginning and cried a lot, and then got used to it. And it just brought up the message that I wanted to share of the things that we're doing in life should bring us joy. Now, that being said, there are definitely times that I have hesitated, paused, delayed coming on here and sharing some of my thoughts. But a large part of that is because my old programming takes over of that I shouldn't be talking about some of these things. Some of these things are taboo. They're just not the norm. They're not the majority. Worried about people not agreeing with me. And I say it. I guess because being an empath and with a lot of my programming, just worried about speaking up and what's going to happen if I do, and how is it going to be received. And so far it's been received with nothing but positivity, but occasionally, like with the tummy time, there was that definite reaction with the person to say that what I'm doing is incorrect, that I need to be making sure to give her 40 minutes of tummy time a day, split up throughout the day. That I'm delaying her development, and so I noticed myself starting to defend well, she rolls over sometimes on her tummy on the bed, so she gets it then. Or occasionally I'll put her in it with her older siblings and she likes that, which is all true, but it was all me defending instead of just speaking my truth and saying, I know it's a popular recommendation to do tummy time with your child, but I'm not going to put my child in a position that she is then extremely unhappy about and crying during, because I want her to love her life as much as possible. I want to learn to live and love my life as much as possible, and love living my life as much as possible. And I don't want to do things that I don't enjoy doing. If on a temporary basis, while I then recognize and call in somebody else who does love what they're doing, cleaning the house. I hate cleaning. I don't mind doing bathroom, like a toilet on occasion. I don't mind, the occasional, if I see like some built up dust or something like that, dusting it off, occasionally wiping like the kitchen counter, bathroom counters. But as far as like a full house clean, nice deep clean, I hate doing that. I have no desire to do that. Therefore, I would much rather pay or do trade of service with somebody who does enjoy doing that. Because guess what? There are people out there that love to clean. And for everything that we don't enjoy doing out there, we can find somebody, we can bring somebody into our reality that does enjoy doing that. We just have to believe it, right? Like, call it in. Ask for it. Call it in. Because just like for everything that you find out there that says one thing, you can find something else out there saying the complete opposite. For everybody out there that doesn't enjoy cleaning, there is somebody out there that absolutely does love cleaning, and it's great. But so as I was saying, I realize I do things differently, and I do things now that I used to negatively comment / judge on, like not vaccinating my children. This was something that I used to say, wow, people believe that essential oils actually, keep you from getting whatever it is, like, versus getting the vaccine. Well, now, yeah, you best believe that I believe that if those people believe, you follow me? If those people believe that their use of essential oils prevents just the same way that vaccines do, then it does. I initially went the route of doing a lot of my own research and finding out that vaccines actually are not, they do not come out until whatever the vaccine is for has a less than 1% mortality rate, meaning that whatever it was has already eradicated itself. But it looks like the vaccine is doing something when in reality it's just whatever that was ran its course and now it's done. And for me now, I also, because that really resonated with me at the time, I also now go along with, think about how traumatic vaccines are for kids as a baby. And a lot of places do this. They hold the child down, they hold their legs, they ask you to hold their arms, the child is laying down while they are then stabbed with a needle. You can feel the tension and the pain from the parent. It's just not a good situation, and again, it's a very whatever it's going to be. It's a very traumatic situation. But definitely, just all in all, not a fun situation for the child or parent. The parent or child is not having fun during that doctor's visit where their child is getting poked with needles multiple times, a lot of times. So why do it? Why go through it? Why live in that fear of something that just has not been around in forever, that we could possibly catch, that has already pretty much eradicated itself from our population? And again, it's just goes along with my thought of learning to consciously let go of that fear and love life. And if something does happen, like me breaking out in a full body rash and experiencing a near-death experience, was that ever something that I saw coming? Oh, hell no. Hell no. I'd never even heard of breast implant toxicity. Had no clue that that was a thing. And that's where, like, you know, some people talk about with Anita Moorjani, was it her thoughts, her research about cancer, that then is why she got cancer? I'd never heard of breast implant toxicity before. Never heard of anybody breaking out in a full body rash before. And yet it was something I experienced. It was not something I researched. It was not something I lived in fear of. But yeah, you can listen to my NDE video, you know, for more thoughts on that, as far as whether it was the actual breast implants being toxic, or more so my thoughts. And knowing what I know now, and coming back with that message of we are all one, everything just is, we are all love. I do think it was more my thoughts. My soul was just screaming out that it was not happy because I was not expressing my true self. I obviously did not love myself just the way I was, because I had those breast implants. Oh man, did I serve? Did they serve my ego well? Did I love them for the 10 years that I had them? Yes. But it was time for me to finally learn to listen to my soul and love myself without them. And that was the message that I kept hearing on repeat, which I believe was my higher self. That just said over and over again, don't put anything on me or in me, don't put anything on me or in me, don't put anything on me or in me. Now, do I wish it would have been a little bit more specific and said, get your breast implants out, get your breast implants out? Of course. But there was so much more to it than that. It also meant, like, don't put anything on the psoriasis to try to make it go away, or I will act out worse because you are not listening. I do not want anything external on me. Yes. So, going back to the vaccines, the tummy time, it's just me realizing that even then, sometimes around certain people, I notice myself falling back into my prior habits. And it's funny because then we talked about how basically this is kind of her version of tummy time, because she gets so much, like, she has had such great head control since about 2 months because of loving to be in this carrier. She loves it. She is just like hugged on to me right now. Like, she is like my little Joey in my little pouch, and she loves it. And I constantly say that this wrap, this Lullabu, L-A-L-A-B-U, missed their opportunity, that this should be called, they have a shirt that you can wear your child in. That thing should be called the Joey. I don't know, maybe it was already taken. It is literally like a pouch that you can put your newborn in and carry them, and it's amazing because you can't put them, in a carrier like this until they have head control, even though there's a little head support. And she's, got this legs now, versus you can do the frog legs in the shirt. I don't know, you might be able to do frog legs in here, but anyways, I do think that today was a little bit of a challenge for me to see, am I going to speak up and am I going to speak my truth and say, no, I don't have my child do positions that they don't like. I try my best not to, because are there times that she ends up in her car seat and she's kind of crying before I can find somewhere and pull over. Oh yes, for sure. And being a single mom, there are times, when I set her down so I can go to the bathroom when she's not happy with me, because she still wants to be worn, and I would like to go to the bathroom without a baby attached. So she cries for a little bit. Yes, absolutely. So yes, we were all just trying to do the thing, but I did notice that I did not speak up about that. I don't believe in forcing tummy time. I think the child will get there when they're ready. You don't see adults that are still just laying there on their back. At some point, that motivation comes of, and she's practicing her rolling. She is. And again, it's just not going by the standard milestone markers, because every child is different and every child gets there on their own time, and trying to best support that child more appropriately suits my beliefs. But I found myself trying to defend it and saying, the couple times that she does, even though it did not align with what they believed with the 40 minutes, I felt very much so like I was doing something wrong by not following what their pediatrician told them. And instead of me just calmly speaking my truth, I bit my tongue. Vaccines didn't come up. So, again, I do think that because I do feel like my true self slightly held back, I think I will be presented with another opportunity to get to speak up with somebody who might believe something differently, and that's cool. You do what's best for you and your kid. I'll do what's best for me and mine. So there's a little bit there. I went into a whole deep dive then about, because I talk about seatbelts. I went into a deep dive about seatbelts and car seats and all the things. So I think that would be a fun video to find out, to leave. I will just say here that one of the countries that does not have a mandatory car seat law, they do in a couple of cities, in Shanghai and one other, and Shanghai is much more modern, westernized, but the remainder of China does not have any sort of car seat law. And in a lot of countries, it is very common for a child to just be lap carried, especially on public transportation. And finding out that that's legal in the US, in taxis, and buses, trains, airport transportation, like those buses. It's fascinating. Transportation to and from Disney. There's no seatbelts. There's no child seats. So anyways, I won't go too deep dive there. I will get to that one in another video. But yet somehow, isn't China like one of the most highest populated countries? So somehow kids are surviving without car seats there just fine.